After my husband's daughter publicly humiliated me at a crowded charity event, I sought an apology. He coldly refused, stating, "She's my blood, not yours. Know your place." I didn't argue. Instead, over the next 2 days, I meticulously orchestrated the downfall of her startup, luxury condo, brand partnerships, and entire pristine life. Let me take you back to the charity gala at the Palmer House Hilton. It was a massive networking event for young entrepreneurs, and my stepdaughter Lacey was unveiling her new eco-friendly skincare line. I was the silent angel investor who had dropped $150,000 to get her off the ground. All I did was quietly ask Lacey to move her display table back a few inches because it was blocking the venue's fire exit. She snapped. "You are so suffocating, Vivian," she screamed, her voice echoing off the vaulted ceilings. The string quartet in the corner actually stopped playing. "You think because you wrote a check you own me? You're just a walking ATM in a cheap dress trying to buy a family you never earned." Then, she purposefully bumped into a waiter, sending a tray of champagne cascading down my silk gown. I turned to my husband Reed, waiting for him to intervene. Instead, he grabbed my elbow, his grip bruising. "Stop making a scene, Vivian," he hissed, making sure the local journalists nearby heard him. "She's my blood, not yours. You're ruining her night. Know your place." The surrounding crowd whispered and snickered. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I calmly picked up a napkin, dabbed my collarbone, and walked to the corner bar. I ordered a gin and tonic, and while Reed and Lacey posed for photographs, I started taking inventory. Lacey's cosmetic manufacturer in New Jersey. The contract was in my LLC's name. Her PR agency retainer tied to my corporate Amex. The Shopify hosting for her booming e-commerce site, my personal email and password. The seed capital loan, drafted with a strict 24-hour recall clause at my discretion. The River North luxury loft she used as her content studio. I was the primary leaseholder. 5 massive pillars holding up her illusion of success. I did the math while swirling the ice in my glass. If I timed the emails perfectly on Monday morning, her entire empire would collapse before lunch. When the gala ended, I paid the $8,500 catering invoice at the front desk, walked out, and hailed my own cab. I knew exactly what I was going to do. Reed spent Sunday ignoring me, eventually telling me I needed to buy Lacey a congratulatory gift to smooth things over. I just smiled. Monday morning, I was sitting in my lawyer's office at 8 am sharp. At 8:15, I invoked the recall clause on the $150,000 seed loan, due in full by Tuesday. At 8:30, I emailed the New Jersey manufacturer. Cancel all pending production runs. The financing account is permanently frozen. 3 minutes later, the PR agency received a notice terminating their retainer. At 9 am, I logged into the domain registrar. With 2 clicks, I took down her e-commerce site and replaced it with a blank white screen that said under maintenance. At 9:45, my lawyer faxed the property management company in River North, terminating the loft lease and accepting the penalty fee. Lacey had 48 hours to vacate. It took exactly 1 hour and 30 minutes to erase 2 years of my generosity. My phone started vibrating at 10:12 am. Reed, I ignored it. Then Lacey, at 10:15. Then Reed again. By 11:00 am, I had 42 missed calls and a flood of frantic text messages. When Reed finally broke through on my direct office landline, he sounded completely breathless. "Vivian, the website is gone. The manufacturer is threatening to sue her. The PR firm dropped us. What the hell did you do?" "I'm learning my place," I replied smoothly. "And I'm acting." I hung up the phone. But shutting down her business wasn't the end of the nightmare. It was just the beginning of what I uncovered. Since I legally own the servers hosting her company's internal communications, I had a digital forensics firm out of Austin do a complete encrypted data backup before I wiped them. I wanted to make sure there was no liability on my end. That afternoon, the lead technician, a guy named Theo, walked into my office. He looked pale. He placed a bound report on my desk and pushed it toward me. "Before you open this," Theo said, his voice dropping to a whisper, "I need to advise you to get a criminal defense attorney immediately." I stared at the thick folder. "Why?" "Because of the federal grant applications we found," he said quietly. "Click here to find out what Lacey and your husband submitted under your signature. Part 2 is on the channel, link below."